What are you thinking when the pain gets more intense? Pain's a signal. It's a way of recognising when we're fighting and battling against life. When we're not addressing something, one of the ways we avoid the things that are bothering us is by thinking about it incessantly. But we kind of tend to loop around in circles with the thinking. So we never get any resolution. We're not actually addressing the thing that we're thinking about. We're just perpetually in a story about it. It goes one way, then it goes another way, and then we begin again. And it can be a perpetual cycle of simply thinking. And when we're thinking, that puts pressure on the body. It doesn't bring us into the direct experience of being right now. And in order to actually come back to being a human being and not a human doing, it's coming away from the head and back into the heart, back into the body, into a more tangible experience. The mind will continue to chatter away about whatever is bothering us, and it can just be this story that locks us into the experience. And it's helpful to simply recognise that actually can be part of the problem. In my experience, it's always been part of the problem when I'm thinking about something. Typically in order to resolve it, but when we're thinking, we're kind of accessing a database of knowledge that's finite, based on our experiences, and often the solution, the thing that can help us resolve whatever is bothering us, whatever is painful for us, physically and mentally or emotionally, that can be outside our immediate experience that we've had, the past conclusions and understanding of the world. The solution can often be beyond that. And so in order to access what is beyond our current understanding and worldview, it's important to start to explore through experience, to understand who and what we are as pure awareness. Using a meditation technique, I use Ascension as taught by the Bright Path Ashayas, which is a really beautiful, simple technique, which is mechanical. So it's like pushing a button. It redirects our attention back onto silent awareness, and as we start to become more consciously aware through using the technique, then everything changes. We can come back to the pure experience of the body, to a quieter mind, so that we don't get so caught in the story about life, and we start to have a direct experience, a pure experience of everything. And so noticing, when we're thinking about pain can be really useful to recognize that that's often part of the problem. And the solution is coming back to self. It's not necessarily even changing anything. It might be an undoing, coming just back into the pure awareness of everything, so that you have that more gentle experience. So pain doesn't impact on our experience when we're present to the same degree. It requires a dialogue and often an emotional component that we don't see. It's so unconscious, this process, and clarity and presence and alertness and recognition of who and what we really are gives us that more gentle, clear, pure experience, so that pain fades away, because it's a signal. It's a signal to point us towards something that's doesn't serve us, that is counter to our natural state of being. So it's a signpost. It's a way to recognize that something could do with changing, not necessarily fixing ourselves, but actually just coming back to the pure experience is for me the most fulfilling and sustainable change that I've ever made. Because then I've recognized that I'm actually not broken in the first place. Even when I had broken ribs, my body was broken for sure, but there's an unbroken me that's pure awareness, that as I've developed a conscious recognition of that, and I rest in that experience more and more of the time, then I have that pure pain-free experience, and also the clarity to recognize that if there is something that the body needs to support itself, to heal itself, then we have the clarity to see, the intuitive side grows and develops within us, so that if there is something that needs to be done, we do it. It becomes apparent to us. So it's not a passive state of just sitting back and being peaceful and ignoring the world. It's a very active state of awareness and recognition intuitively to do what needs to be done, and also to change our perception naturally back to our factory settings, if you like, so that we're not in the kind of fix it mode where we're looking at the world and ourselves as if there's something wrong, that we're broken. And for me, the best solutions to anything that's dysfunctional or not working, or a symptom that's bothering me, is actually to let go of the idea that there's anything wrong with it, so I can come back to and be open to what actually does serve, what is useful right now. And that then leads to a much more gentle, pain-free, loving, gentle experience.